So Burgess just got back from Las Vegas, had a chance to see Harry Reid talk before the United Steelworkers International Convention. On the way in to the convention, I asked him, what do you think about the Koch operation building up on the ground in Nevada? He kind of dismissed me.
I don't see they have any reason to come after me. Why would they? But I've always been targeted. It's nothing, that's not news.
But then he got up before the steelworkers and maybe was feeling his oats a little bit more and had something to say about that.
When I was walking in here today, somebody grabbed me from one of the Washington publications and said, the Koch brothers say they're here organizing in Nevada. And how do you feel about that? I said, why would they be worried about me? What have I done to bother them? Only everything I can, right?
You've obviously been following him and his efforts to sort of attack them on the floor of the Senate. What'd you think of that?
I mean, in the first 6 months of the year, it was hard not to follow him on the floor of the Senate, and it seemed like his attacks on the Kochs were coming with regard to everything. Ukraine aid was failing because of the Koch brothers, and they're causing climate change, and you've really seen that drop off a little bit, so it's interesting to see him go to Nevada, to be in front of thousands of essentially his constituents and rail against the Koch brothers, and I'm wondering, what does that imply for 2016 when Harry Reid is probably going to run for re-election?
Kind of suggests he may be a little nervous about what's coming.
Right.
In fact, when I was out there, I did stop by the Americans for Prosperity office, the office of the Libre Initiative, both of which are Koch-backed groups. Libre targeting Hispanics, obviously a key demographic in Nevada, and saw that they were laying the groundwork. And so nothing on the ballot that's really a hot race in 2014 in Nevada. You got to think that at least in the back of their minds, the Koch operatives' minds, Harry Reid's re-election is probably pretty high up on their 2016 agenda.
Right, and it wasn't just Reid attacking the Kochs earlier this year. The Kochs were firing back and calling him a poor leader for the Senate. I mean, really personal terms. And you've also seen that drop off a little bit. And I don't think they want to draw too much attention to this stuff, but it's obvious there. You look at the Senate map in 2016. Who can the Republicans take out on the Democratic side? Harry Reid is the guy that stands out right there.
Yeah, and you look at what they're doing on the ground, and you hit the nail on the head. It's quiet. They're not calling attention to it. They're doing the real grassroots level organizing. That is really what they have, the niche that they've tried to fill. In addition to all the big ads that they do, they're trying to build what they sort of compare to what the labor movement has done for the left. That is the ground troops. But you could still see, even with the more quiet approach to methodically building for 2016, you could still see it bothers them. We saw Tim Phillips on C-SPAN's Newsmakers the other day, and he could not help but take a little personal swipe at the Kochs.
Right.
It's also ironic to see him go on the floor and decry the 1%. And to do that, he actually comes down from the penthouse of the Ritz-Carlton here in D.C. And by the way, we're 4 penthouses and 4 folks getting in them, although interesting how he pays for it on a government salary. But that's a different story.